Hello. Hello, welcome. Ladybugs and germs and octopoids and everyone else. My name is Josh Foreman. Hi, Quindy. How's it going? This is my mouse, my pride and joy. My 1999 mouse and keyboard Logitech setup sponsored by No, I don't know why my camera's over there. Here, look. This is actual artwork that I do, not related to mice and keyboards. I make fun sculptures and really crazy dice with bells on the tips because, why would you make dice and not put bells on the tips of the dice? And these are all in service of my fiction called The Scarred King, all in my Tales from Talifar series. These are available on Amazon, heavily illustrated, lots of maps and charts and stuff. It's full of stuff. It's my original fantasy world I've been working on for 20 years, highly rated. I'm a co-author on it and visual developer and all that stuff. You'll like it. If you're on this channel, I'm almost sure you'll like it. You should check it out. Look what I managed to break. I've been moving into my new studio, and my little fairy done got busted. So this is a resin cast. Yes, this is resin cast. So I sculpted the original in polymer clay, cast it in some kind of resin, and did a little. I'm not even sure how I did it. It was so long ago. Looks like just a sheet of aluminum foil, and then I put some kind of water effect substance on there. Anyway, this managed to get dropped, of course. Whenever you move, you're guaranteed to break some of your art. To be honest, I'm glad it was this piece instead of something more like near and dear to me. Other stuff got damaged, but damage is one thing, like complete shattering. I guess this isn't complete shattering. This is partial shattering. I've seen much worse. So anyway, I'm going to try to fix this real quick, just in case you're interested in how you go about fixing something like this. I'll be curious to see how you go about fixing something like this. I think these cracks are just, you're just always going to see them unless I went in and did a full another layer of resin over it, like an opaque layer and then another thin layer. But this little one-off piece isn't worth it. And I'm seeing that I actually did drill holes for these little wings. Let's see, how close will this camera, can this camera handle? Not that close. Not close? Okay, see that little white bit? Yeah, there we go. So I did drill into these, and presumably I would have stuck a wire in, and maybe it's just that the drill hole goes this deep, but the wire from the body did not extend that deep. However, having those pre-drilled holes is pretty great because I know they're lined up. So if I re-drill right there, in theory, it should be nice and lined up for me. Assuming I can kind of get the angle the same. And that is an assumption. These little hand drills are nice for fragile things like this transparent resin. Hi, garbage truck. I brought out some wire to fix it. I have never been good at pinning either. I wonder if it's just one of those things that, unless you do it all day, air day, you just ain't going to be good at it. Getting everything to line up perfectly seems virtually impossible to me. So how's Quindy's day going so far? Besides feeling deep shame for not being able to pin things well, how are you feeling? Me, that's how I'm doing. We moved into this new place, and I expected there would be things that would need to be repaired and fixed and changed. I knew the garage door was going to need it. Let me show you our awesome garage door. Look at that. Is that airtight or what? Yeah, it's like practically rotting off of its hinges. So I knew we were going to need that, but what I did not know is that the air filtration system in our HVAC is practically wearing a sweater. And the tech came out and tried to clean it and said this is uncleanable. Or, well, technically it's cleanable, but the amount of time it would take would cost more than just buying a new set of coil McDeelys, whatever. Long story short, there's another $2,000. Bye-bye. So, yeah, it's just frustrating times. You know, all of that money that I'm hoping to put into development of my Tales from Telefar series just gets sucked away into this kind of garbage. Apparently the previous owners when they did their remodel, they did not have a filter in the HVAC system. So all of the dust and paint fumes from the remodel got sucked up through all of the hardware, like directly into the hardware, and just caked it. Okay, I think I'll do, I'm trying to decide, should I do the wings first or the water first? So the advantage of doing the wings first is, I'm not worried about accidentally putting my fingers on here and like re-snapping it, right? That's the advantage. Although, and you do have to manhandle a lot when you're pinning, because you got to get lots of different angles, and inevitably you're like wiggling it and jiggling it. Trying to see if I lost another. No, look at that. Nice. Wow. I'm very lucky that the wings shattered. Like literally the wings just popped off in one piece each. Like if there were multiple pieces in there, it would be practically impossible to fix. I mean, not without pretty much re-sculpting over everything. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go water first. It's tricky because this bottom is not perfectly flat. Like it kind of bends up at the edges, if you can see that. So I can't rely on a flat desk to hold everything flat. It's kind of like has to be held the whole time that it dries, which is never ideal. Wow, and it feels like it needs to go way the heck up, which feels way the heck wrong. Oh no. I know I am missing a sliver. Where does this go? This is definitely an edge piece. You can't go there. Oh, it does go here. Oh, okay. That helps. That helps quite a bit. Let's not glue the wrong piece in there. Yeah, it looks like all I'm missing is this little mouse nibble there. I think that's fine. I've got these two different super glues. I've never done a really comprehensive test of my various glues to determine which is best, and that is certainly to my long-term detriment. I should probably do that. I've been using this a lot. Is it better than this? Well, this is already open, so let's give this a try first. This is a little more gel-like, which, I mean, depending on the kind of thing you're fixing, sometimes better than others. Like, this is such a flat facet, I would think a more liquidy one would be better, but here it starts getting crunchy, and that's where the gel would probably pay off. I guess ideally, I could do the more liquidy stuff on the super flat facet and the gel stuff on the back. But let's just see what happens if we hold this together for, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds. Yellow one is the one you use, except the gel version of it. Okay. Now, what do you find is the advantage of gel versus liquid? The yellow one is apparently the original super glue corporation. Works best on clean, non-porous surfaces. Indeed. Okay. And so the gel squeezed out a little bit along the bottom, which I would think is kind of good and expected, given how absolutely flat it is in there. If it didn't squeeze out, I would be concerned. It would mean that I didn't actually like seat it properly. Let's see if I have an, oh, look at that. Nice. Nice. Okay, and then this one goes here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try this double approach, see how that goes. Roughen up the two surfaces before gluing with a hobby knife. Interesting. You don't glue your fingers together with the gel version? Yeah, it's a little less squirrely. This liquid likes to go everywhere. I usually actually wear they're not latex. What kind of gloves are they? They're the kind you can get in bulk at Costco. Yeah, when I'm super gluing, I like to use those. But as I'm in my new area, I don't know where the vast majority of my stuff is right now, so that looks really good from there. Hi, Indivies. This hopefully will not last the entire stream. I've got some more detail carving to do on my rocks, is what I hope to do for the most of the stream. But you know, best laid plans and all that. Trying to remember what else broke in the move. Oh, it looks like Monkey Boy's tail got snapped. While I have the super glue out, I might as well fix that. Don't you make me turn this into a fixing stuff stream. No one wants that. But that should be like a matter of like under a minute, I would think. Now this, just like, maybe this always was broken from the fall, but I didn't notice the snap until just now. Or maybe I snapped it. A mix of exacerbating and snapping it. So again, I'm gonna use the liquid on the super flat parts. The gel on the crunchier bits. I'm gonna put the wrong lid on the wrong container. Come on, get in there. Oh man, it looks like I should have done this one before the other one. Yeah, I should have double tested that first. Oh, I think it may have just snapped satisfyingly into place. I think. Carrie Michael Cosby, thank you so much for that raid. All right. That's looking not great, but acceptable. Okay, put this up here. And, oh, and literally put it on the thing that I need to use next, of course. See, I don't want to put it directly down because I feel like some of the glue that squeezed out at the bottom is going to stick. Here we go. Flimsy toothpick container. That'll do the trick. If I was feeling ambitious, I would drill the holes deeper to get a little more strength in there. But again, this is not a piece that I'm particularly concerned about. It's not a one-of-a-kind, it is a cast, so I'm not super worried about it. Oh, that's another thing I need to fix now that I think about it. But virtually everything else that I need to fix is like literally gluing one little thing to another thing. It's not all this pinning nonsense. Looks like fun. If you think fixing things is fun, then yes, it's fun. I personally think it's more fun to not break things in the first place. True. One of my favorite pieces of content I made in Guild Wars 2 was a Christmas diorama village of all of Tyria, but it's in an airship. And so, and as a player, you go and you fight little, man, I forgot what you fight on there. Is it clockwork, guys? You fight little somethings on the diorama, but you get to smash the buildings. So I got to build tiny versions of a bunch of like architecture from the rest of the game and let you Godzilla stomp through it. So much fun. Kind of playing fast and loose with how these wings should be set. Ideally, I would actually use epoxy on these, but again, I don't want to go dig through all my supplies to try to find that stuff. So if they break again, then I'll resort to ye olde epoxy. this actually... Yep, like I said, the inevitable manhandling. Oh, okay, I see where it goes together, right? Oh, I think that's right. Like, it looks like it's right there, but not so much back here. It's possible that it just snapped off these little kind of leafy bits that I used to disguise the seam. But I want to make sure the little faux water drips coming off the tips of the wings are still pointing down. Yeah. It's like... Yeah, I think no matter what, I'm going to need to go in with some epoxy sculpt and kind of fill in some gaps, which... That's so annoying because it means more... Oh, maybe not. That definitely looks like a line up. An alignment on that little, like, yellowy leaf. I feel pretty confident this is the position it was in. You dropped your first bust. Does she cry out to you in your dreams? Fix me! Fix me! Okay, yeah. I'm thinking super glue is not gonna cut it. The swing is just too heavy and the gap is too large. So if I drill further into the wing and make a longer, oh, I might be able to pull it off. Let's give this a try. Let's make like the Dwarves of Moria and delve too deep, shall we? What will we awaken? Stay tuned to find out. Now, sadly, I'm drilling into a hole that already has some Loctite in it. So it's making the buildup turn into gunk on my blade, but it looks like it's actually breaking off all right, so not super concerned. I'm a Dwarf Lyrics. I'm not even sure what song you're referring to. Is that like a Lord of the Rings meme, or where's that come from? It's probably something I saw in 2007 and promptly forgot about. Sing it for me, Indivies. Diggy hole. I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole, and so on. Are you tone deaf? Because I could barely make out any notes in that. I'm guessing it was probably like some kind of operatic singing. That's just how it's going to exist in my head canon. Is it like the Badger song? where it's just a repeated phrase over and over. Too high pitched to do a male voice. That must be why I couldn't make out the musicality of it. So tempting to use an electric drill here, but I just know like it would absolutely at some point it'd be going perfectly, and then right when I'm about to be like, there we go, it's just gonna shatter into 500 pieces. I've had that experience one too many times. You know, I know that female dwarves have beards. I wonder if they also have deep voices. Can anyone confirm or deny this for me? Ooh, I really should have pulled this out first. Let's see if it will come out. It will. Hurrah! I do not know why sometimes this unscrews itself while I'm using it and sometimes does not. Like this little part spins freely, and so while you're kind of pressing down with your palm, you're spinning this. It must be if you accidentally, or maybe if you hold it like a little too hard, it stops the top part from spinning. Maybe that's what's going on. This part I feel like, hold on a sec. Is this drill bit, let's see what's here. It's pretty close. Got a little super glue on myself, as expected. Oh, nice. We do have a thinner one. Let's see this one. So I'm less worried that this part is going to shatter into a million pieces. But not being hand drilled means that it's a lot more likely to kind of go off at a wonky angle. But the added depth that I can get with it potentially makes it a better approach. We'll see. I want to make sure that we're turned down to pretty low. Wow, it is not drilling. Okay, apparently I need to get a little more aggressive with it. Arrgh. What is... Oh, I'll bet I'm hitting the metal, the previous pin that was in there. Yeah, that's just like not going in any further in. Okay. Yeah, I think what this. Oh, you know what I did? Literally just get yesterday. I do have a Dremel. Do I know where it is right now? No. I'm in the middle of moving and everything is in boxes and random places. But I do know where this is. But to use this, to unlock access to this, I need the DLC of my rubber gloves. Do I know where those are, you ask? I ask? Oh, will I be lucky and will they be over here? Not lucky, not so far. But I'm over here. Let's grab this guy. This one, I managed to get all the way through the move amazingly without breaking this finger off of my oldest son here. This finger always gets broken because it's sticking out of the sculpture, and so if you run it by anything, it just like pops off. Got through the entire move, moved it like 30 times from one place to another. On the way over here, no problem. And then just yesterday, I was moving it because I was painting. I started painting these shelves back here, and yeah, it's pushed against some other sculpture, and sure enough, popped the finger right off. However, I was able to find the finger. There have been times when it broke off, and I was unable to find it, and so I've had to re-sculpt it and repaint it to match several times. Not the funnest of times. Trying to, I could probably use the liquidy stuff on this one, I think. Oh, that's too much. Too much, I say. Calm down, Superman. Which way is up? And even after rubbing most of the glue off, it's still way too much. Come on, you can do it. I think I know where my fast setter stuff is. Zip kick. What? Ah! No! Man, I was so amazed that I had not lost the finger. And naturally, look at this floor that it ended up on. It's somewhere on this floor. No problem. It's only covered with a million bits of tiny stuff that are practically the same size and color. Oh my God. Oh, how could I? How? I wish I had a Sculpey magnet that only magnetized Sculpey to it. Could someone invent that real quick? Like in the next minute or two? It's also, you know, it had a drop of super glue to it, so I feel like it wouldn't bounce like a million miles away, you know what I mean? At least I would think that it wouldn't. Which means I'm gonna step on it or roll over it. I wonder if I gently blow, because this stuff is very light, and if the finger has glue on it, it may have stuck to the floor enough where it wouldn't blow away, right? This is my theory. Let's see what happens. I could just be blowing it further. It's also possible that it like stuck to my clothes somewhere. Man, if you wanted to tune into a Twitch stream for original content, this is some original content right here. Have you ever seen someone try to blow bits of styrofoam around their shop floor while looking for a tiny polymer finger? I submit you have not. Highly original content right here, ladies and gentlemen. Germs and octopoids of all ages. Congratulations on witnessing such an original event. Alright, looks like I'm sculpting another finger. Wow. Wow, you guys. Yeah, and none of that got me any closer to finding the gloves that I needed. Give me 1 minute. I have an idea. 1 minute. Start the countdown. Okay, a slight turn of luck. I was able to find gloves that I was looking for. Good for me. And bonus, a little cup I can put water in because I'm going to need that for this next step. There's still, I don't know, I'm going to say there's still a 10% chance I end up finding that finger before I destroy it or accidentally throw it away. But we'll have to come back to this guy. Every time I roll my chair down, I'm like, oh man, that was probably the finger I just crushed. Yeah, Quindy, please stop causing my problems by leaving. The ears are not symmetric. What ears? On who? On this fairy? Or on my son? Okay, right, so I think what I'll do is cut a little more wire. But I'll cut it to length because oh, what did I just hear fall? That? Or was it a finger? You never know when it might be a finger. You are quite the agent of chaos. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I count on this glue to keep this guy in place. This, sadly, will not be able to stick very far. Hopefully it'll be just enough to keep it in place, but probably not. Then we'll use a little steel stick, and because this sets pretty fast, we can just kind of prop up the wings, and within minutes they will at least be stuck into place, and then I'll suffer the consequences of figuring out how to cover up the seams. I hope your soul is prepared for Reaper Live tonight. It's happening. So, in a perfect world, I would do 2 batches of this, 1 for each wing, if I wanted to be really careful and good about it. But I also just want to be done with this thing, so instead, you know what, actually I'm going to set it up over here so that I can get something new on my table while it's setting. Oh, hi there, camera. Wow, what am I doing? Why? What is your problem? Let's go over there. What are you catching? Oh wow, actually caught on the wheel of my chair. Awesome. Okay, now are we in place-ish? Closer. Okay. This one actually does have this very flat spot where a little bit of super glue probably go a long way. Put it in a place where it's mostly supported. A little more planing would have paid off here. I think Scola can you lend a hand, please? You know, I've had a lot of really not fun experiences in the past month or so, and this is like this is right up there with them. Stay there, right? We just stay for a bit. So while those are X-Acto knife, where be ye? Here ye are. We'll let that sit for a minute. Come back here, and while we've got all this repair stuff out, let me grab my monkey boy real quick. His poor little broken tail. Hi, Family Fantasy RPG, how's it going? Not only is he a monkey boy, he's a dusty boy. Okay, so yeah, this one, like, there's a very thick wire that's holding him up because there's a lot of weight up here. This guy is mostly polymer clay. There's a aluminum foil core, but there's still quite a bit of weight that's like right there, and when he's not perfectly balanced, it puts a lot of strain on that there ankle. So and because it's kind of a bendable aluminum wire coming up through there, and this foot isn't perfectly flat, he's easy to like jostle and then make off balance, which then cracks that. So maybe a little super glue in that crack will help a bit. Now let's do the tail first, because that's gonna, I can't tell if, oh, there may actually be material that broke off of there, because it looks, yeah, I think there's a big chunk that's just broken and gone. Not cool. So that's another thing I can fix with the steel stick. Then I have to match the paint and fix it up. I think I'm just gonna let this one go for now. There's so much on my plate with the move and the studio reorg and all this stuff, so I'm just gonna see if I can fix his ankle here and call it a day. Basically tilting them forward a bit. think what it needs. I think that's a legit banana. Well, thank you. Worked very hard on it. It's also got super legit teeth in there. See his focus. Yeah, he's got good little chompers in there too. Okay, now let's get on to what I wanted to be doing all along before I got so distracted. Always so distracted. I started making some really good progress on my last stream on the this rock wall thing. Starting to get into the groove of things. Some awesome reference. And started perfecting my carving technique here. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with some of these lines that I'm starting to get in the flow and things. One of the things that I'm not happy with is that places where I cut using the hot wire cutter have this very particular texture, which I like this texture. It's nice, but when I want to shape the rock more, like I did right here, this little section where I carved has a different like smoothness to it, right? It doesn't look like that sort of natural sheared part. And so one thing I wanted to experiment real quick was can I just use this and brush over that to try to get more of that same sort of granular texture on there? And we're gonna find out. I'm gonna start maybe down here where it's not as important. Yeah, it does look like anywhere I run it over, I do end up with that little pitted texture, which is cool. Where are we? Up, right here. Okay. So first of all, I want to get my wire. This wire is so thick that it retains its heat, unlike a lot of other hot wires. I would like to kind of shape it, but it's still kind of hot. Okay. There we go. So yeah, I want to get this shape because that's kind of the shape that I'm trying to match on this little angle here. Okay, so Yeah, it has a very directional quality to it. So when you drag it over an entire surface area, it gets that direction baked into it. And then if you go from a different angle, a different speed, different heat, all these other factors, it gives different directionality to it, which is not, don't think that's very realistic. But it's still worth following up with and trying in other contexts and such. Okay, and the big picture on this guy, I've got it mostly blocked out. There is one part that I need to do another thingy to though, because as this is going to be a backdrop sitting behind me, that is one of the functions it's going to fulfill. There's this little niche, that's why that window's there, where it'll go back into an alcove. But there's also an electrical outlet on my wall that this sits over. So I need to flip this over. I marked it here. And cut away this area so that my outlet can exist. And it's not that I want to remove it, I really just want to pull it out some so the outlet can be behind it and still accessible. But yeah. Oh yeah, and for the record, for those who don't know, that is going to be a lot closer to the kind of effect that this rock is going to ultimately look like after it's all painted and fully textured and such. Okay, so for my electrical outlet, I know I'm basically doing this corner here. So what I can do is flip it over and make something that kind of works with the flow of the rock as I have it. What I'd love to do is turn this into, I guess panel is the right word, like that I can pop in and out if I need to access the electrical plug. Yeah, so I'd be able to like pop it off, plug something in, unplug it, whatever, and then pop it back on. But it also needs to be raised out a bit so that there's room for the plug behind it. I'm trying to think of the best way to approach that. Putting some, I guess I'll use this. I'm gonna need a piece about that-ish big. We could do like a thinner strip. Goes about here. So I guess just kind of gluing this into place, or tacking it into place one way or another, and then I can fill in behind it. It's probably the easiest way to do that. But this absolutely straight line, not very natural. Just gonna do a bit of an angle cut here. But actually this can stick out a bit further because it's not, it doesn't need to be tucked behind the couch like the rest of it does. So I think I can give myself a little kind of niche to plug it into. Oh, you know what? That's what this would be good for. Yeah, that'll be good. And then it's going to be resolved into this somehow. So I can start by making this a little more organic. It up that way. I want a line kind of following that shape, going at this general angle. I'm trying to think, the steeper the angle, it's going to be sitting this way. Yeah, okay. Look at that, I didn't completely hide the toothpicks from myself. That's a minor miracle to be celebrated. This is where hot glue would probably be an absolutely fine approach. Do I know where my hot glue is? Not technically. Wait a minute. Ooh, I might. Okay, wait a minute. Son of the hot gun. Son of a hot glue gun. That's what I was trying to say. Found a glue gun. Set that over there to warm up. Still gonna take a minute every time I sit down, a moment. Just take a brief glance around the floor to see if I see a 11-year-old boy's finger. You never want 11-year-old boy fingers on your shop floor. Okay, how can I match these two parts better? Just like cutting this down. There are still many things that I won't even try to start looking for because I just know it's going to end in tears. And it's such a balance between trying to get the rest of that house unpacked and livable for everyone versus getting my shop in a place where I'm not super frustrated all the time. Super frustrated all the time. Life goals, you know. I think that's working pretty well. Just out of curiosity, let's see if these wings instantly snap off. Okay, one of them did, one of them did not. Not bad. Not sure why this one snapped off, but I do feel like if I... where did I hide it? There it is. Let's try this one more time. If it snaps off again, then we'll have to get more serious about it. Is that a good word? More serious about it. Thanks, it's casual. Wait, casualty? Causality? Sorry, I tried saying your name once before and I feel like I may have got to a good you know, something that I was happy with saying, but Yeah, see, typing it again doesn't help because I still can't tell if that's cause. No, it can't be causality because of the U, so it's got to be casual. Casualty, like dead. Okay, that helps. It's a casualty. It's me, a casualty. Whoa! Impressive. That was so solid a minute ago, and now it's just gone. Dead. These wings are a casualty. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to dedicate more time to this than I really want to. That's annoying. Oh, back to the more fun thing. Making rock shapes. These rock shapes rock. You didn't walk away this time? And it still happened? Oh, man. We may have to find another explanation for bad things happening if that's the case. Okay. Let's see, can we... Oh, there's still some black hot glue left in there. Which is awesome for environment stuff, but not awesome for the old pocketbook. It's like 10 times more expensive than clear hot glue. It also smells slightly like burnt tires. A little bit of a tire fire smell in your shop. But man, it's so cool when your crack is filled with black instead of transparent or white, and then who knows if you can get your base coat down in there, you know. Just realized that this is the track that I used for my book trailer. Has anyone ever seen a book trailer? It's like a movie trailer, but for a book. And I made a book trailer for this book. Actually, I made a trailer for the follow-up book as well. Is it better? I don't even know. But yeah, I used this music from Windswept. Who is an awesome royalty-free music composer. This track had like the perfect up and down, like excitement and then calm while like it talks about other things and then goes back into the excitement again. It's perfect for a book trailer. Okay, how are we doing? Nice and solid? Cool. Big Ol' the Brute. I am working on a big cliffside for part of a diorama that I'm working on. There's another part of it right there, this big mountainy thing. If you look up Josh Foreman on YouTube, you can find tutorials on how to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm using this XPS construction foam and carving it and shaping it into a cliff. It's gonna have little like caves and crevices and all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, so now that I have this sticky out bit, I need to fill in this crack bit. It is huge, yeah. The diorama that I'm making is going to be 6 feet by 8 feet by 6 feet tall. It's massive because it's going to be housing a sculpture that I made of a Colossus from the game Shadow of the Colossus. And that statue is 4 feet tall. So I'm building the arena that it lives in, or at least where the battle takes place. And again, I have a whole series on building that Colossus on my YouTube channel. You can find it there if that piques your interest. By the way, this is just canned air that you use for cleaning computers and stuff, but if you hold it upside down, it releases very, very, very cold air. You should be careful to not let it touch your skin, but it makes the hot glue set almost instantly. Very nice that way. Okay, now we're going to fill in this little crack. And I feel like I've probably got some scraps that'll work pretty well for that. But I think I need to flip this around to do so. Flip. Have any other bits or bobs that fit better? Yeah, I like that. Okay. We've got our additional feature back here. Just double check. Now it has room to accommodate a outlet and the plugs that stick out of it, most likely. I'll take it upstairs and give it a test fit before I do much more work on it. I'm going to do a little more detail carving to wrap up here. Sharpener won't reach that far. Okay, cover your ears, everyone. So the sharper your blade, the less little annoying triangle tear bits you're going to leave. See these little triangular shapes right here? These are the things that they leave like a trail behind your blade. You can see it's sharp now, so it's not, oh, there's one, there's two. And the really annoying thing is that they do it, oh man, I'm so zoomed in you didn't even see that cut, did you? Okay, let's do that again. So I cut, it's great, but then once it starts tearing, right there it started tearing, see that? It leaves these directional triangles in your surface that one or two of them is fine, but when you see a whole like row of them, it starts looking very unnatural, so I would prefer to avoid those. Looking at my reference here, this is my favorite kind of rock texture for what I'm trying to recreate at the moment, where it's got these little like secondary form jaggies, but then I love looking at all how the little fractures spread off of that, and so I'm trying to reproduce that sort of thing. That is a good falling asleep sound for sure. Sound of sharpening X-Acto blades. One way to minimize the little triangle tears is to do a little bit of sawing action with your knife. I assume because it's just helping to dislodge any place where the tear is starting to catch on the blade. All right, looks like we're at our hour and a half, so let's go ahead and find someone cool to raid, shall we? And I'll just play us out with some nice little carving. Carvy, carvy, carve. My name is Josh Foreman. I can never point the right way. All my socials up there. Insta, Facebook, YouTube, etc. I write novels that have lots of like illustrations and stuff, and they're on the Amazon. Please check it out if you like fantasy adventure. And on my Amazon store, if you go to Amazon Handmade and search, if you search for Bowmark, B-O-W-M-A-R-K, you'll see this lovely bust, the cover model. But we're also selling the cover model for book 2, Skola. And this was just added to the store. We have these cool 4-sided dice that you can use in your game. They've got itty bitty pips on there. But these are from also from the novel that we just released. These are Rumshaw, different classes, I guess you could say, of Rumshaw. And yeah, it's fun. They're fun. Check them out. Check them all out, yo! Alright. Now I'm just going to carve in silence and bid you all a fair adieu while we raid someone. Thank you, Quindy.